Another week, another day to talk about matters African football. My name is National Wano and welcome to another edition of AFCON Highlights. Time for us to make sense of the games that were played this past weekend, and the following are just the results of the games that were played yesterday. My director is going to give me a few of those numbers of the games that were played yesterday. The key game that was played yesterday is Tunisia versus Algeria. I beg your pardon. There is Burkina Faso versus Gabon. The game ended 1-1, and courtesy of a penalty, the game ended 7-6 in favor of Burkina Faso. That basically means that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and his team are out of the AFCON tournament. The other game that was played yesterday was Nigeria versus Tunisia. The Super Eagles did their best to ensure that they came on top of that particular fixture, but looks like Algeria were the better team in the second game that was played yesterday. Now, in our previous conversation on the show, I remember we had tipped off Nigeria to be one of the teams that was going to be in contention for this year's trophy, but suddenly they are out of the AFCON tournament. This basically changes the dimensions in terms of the West African teams. Well, joining me in studio once again to make sense of the games that were played yesterday is our senior African football analyst, that is Eric Shilenje. Shilenje, welcome again to another edition of AFCON Highlights.
Thank you so much, Nation. It's another day of surprises in the AFCON, and the tournament just gets better and better day in, day out as we advance towards the final stages.
Yeah. Gabon are out of the tournament. Something that you probably expected?
Yes. Them playing Burkina Faso, it was a 50-50 game. Anybody could have gone through, and I feel to some extent they were kind of unlucky. Burkina Faso must have been very lucky to proceed to the quarterfinals because they were the better side during the game, but they didn't make the chances count. They had a penalty whereby the captain Baton Traore blasted the penalty. They could have led earlier. They had a goal in the first half. In the second half, Gabon were a man down. Most of the second half, they played 10 men. But Burkina Faso could not take advantage of that. And they allowed Gabon to nick in a last-minute equalizer to take the game into extra time and penalty. And really, Gabon really shown the Africanacity, the fighting Africans, that even when they are 10 men, they still gave Burkina Faso their game. And I think Gabon shall be forgiven to say that they are good without Aubameyang.
Yeah, I think I don't think Aubameyang will have changed so much to the Gabon team right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel they are better without Aubameyang. Yeah, because the way they've played this tournament, they've only lost one game. Yeah, because in the group stages they won a game and drew two. And in those
Aubameyang was not even there.
He wasn't there. Yeah. And they were drawing against Ghana, drawing against Morocco. Yeah, better sides in Africa. And so this one just tells you that the team was really gelled together, and they play as a unit without Aubameyang. Because when he's in the team, they tend to rely on him so much, but rely on him, and that might not be so good in terms of the expected outcomes. But when they play without their star man, they're playing good.
Okay. One key dimension that most of our viewers might not know is that both of the two teams were not there in the AFCON tournament in 2019, and they came out this time round and they managed to get into the round of 16. What does that one tell? Do you think the team learned their lesson when they were out in the cold?
Not so much. I feel coming to the tournament, coming into this fixture, Burkina Faso are the more experienced side because they were finalists in 2013 when they lost 1-0 to Nigeria. In 2017 edition that was played in Cameroon, they finished third. Yeah. So by them missing out in 2019, I don't think it takes so much out of them because even these other bigger teams, the likes of Cameroon, the likes of Nigeria, even Egypt, at some point they've been missing out in this tournament. But when they come back, they're still the same team, the same giant in Africa. So I don't think them lacking out in 2019 did any harm to their aspirations coming into this tournament.
Okay. I think the pattern of Burkina Faso, apart from missing the AFCON tournament in 2019, the record in the tournament has been quite well, as you have mentioned. Maybe as we wrap up the Burkina Faso versus Gabon game, what other dimensions do you think they need to bolster as they go into the next game? Because it's a do or die at this point in time. Yeah,
they really need to work on their attack because
the finishing is poor.
They had so many, plenty chances, so many of them, but just barring them into the back of the net was a big problem because in that game they should have won by a very big margin, maybe 3-0. They won in a position of not giving Gabon any chance to come back in the game. But when you have many chances and you don't score, then it means at some point in the game, when you tire, the opponent might get only one chance and equalize. That is what happened to Gabon. Given that they are going to play Tunisia, another very defensive team, they need to be better or else they'll be out in the next phase of the competition. Yeah.
Speaking about Tunisia, and I was talking to you about this just off air, is the fighting spirit and the will to survive throughout the tournament. I think going into the AFCON tournaments previously, even if you look at 2019, there are those teams that people don't really watch out for, but for some reason they always have a way of cruising into the later stages of the tournament.
Tunisia must be one of those teams because Tunisia has a very outstanding record in the AFCON. They've not missed this tournament from 1996. That is a period of how many years? 20-something years, around 25, 26 years. They've been constant in this tournament, never missed even a single one when the other giants have been being knocked out maybe from the qualifications. It shows you this is a very consistent team which knows exactly what they are going to do into the game, and they've been really having good results against the West African teams. So when they play Nigeria, remember they had a very depleted squad. They didn't have 7 players who are quarantining,
and the coach was also not
there. The coach Monda Kaber was not also on the touchline. He was just giving instructions through the assistant manager. But the way they played, the way they push numbers together, they stuck together as a team. When they go in attack, they go both of them. In terms of defending, they have the numbers and they really disrupted Nigeria. Nigeria didn't have the normal flow of play that we know, the tiki-taka of Africa. They were not able to display that kind of game. And for Tunisia, they don't care. All they need is a win. They only got one clear chance, which was not very clear, like was a half a chance.
It was a first chance.
First chance. And they have experience in Yusuf Musakni, whose shot was able to put Nigeria aside. Was not a beautiful goal, but that is all that they wanted.
I think looking at that game, one thing that probably Tunisia realized is the fact that they were not going to get past the Nigerian defense. And actually, if you look at the chances that Tunisia had, they were courtesy of long-range shots.
Outside the box.
Outside the box. I think they just had seen it and they were like, no, we are not going to get past this physical Nigerian defense team. Talking about Nigeria, at what point of the match did you think that Tunisia had Nigeria in the pocket? Because Nigeria seemed to have had the team was solid enough in the group stages. The players understood themselves, they knew where to be at the right time. But apparently Tunisia had them at one point. Which part do you think worked against Nigeria in yesterday's game?
Tactically, I think Tunisia got it right because they knew the strength of Nigeria is possibly on the flanks when they have Chikweze and Simon Moses, and lately they also had Iwobi. These are very speedy wingers who are able to take in a man or two and come in, move into the to the central pitch towards the box. They can shoot, they can pass. They're very dangerous when you allow them to cut in from the flanks, and that is what Tunisia really cut out. They didn't give Simon Moses any chance. They didn't give Samuel Chikweze any chance to dribble past them and bring the ball into the box. It's something that they really cut out at Nigeria very well. They cancelled all the attacks. Iheanacho was nowhere to be seen. And in the second half, once Tunisia scored their goal, I really knew Nigeria was going to be in trouble because to equalize against Tunisia, who are merchants of defending, is really a big ask. And in the sixth minute, when Alex Iwobi is red carded, which was very unfortunate for Nigeria, I think that was the end. That was the end of the game. There was no way Tunisia was going to allow a goal past them when they knew that they had Nigeria in their pockets. No,
I think Tunisia did a good job getting into this game. Looking at how they had started slow in the tournament against their debacle against Mali, which was a lot of drama, ending the game early. Yeah, but they managed to get into it. I think the other thing that stood out for me in that particular game is how the Tunisia players understand each other.
Exactly.
Any lessons that you think other African nations can learn from that particular squad? What do you think contributes to that level of gelling? Because everybody knows where everybody is going to be, you know.
Yeah, remember before this AFCON tournament, Tunisia were playing the Arab FIFA Cup, where they played to the finals. Bad luck, they lost to Algeria 2-0 in the final. But they maintained these players that were playing in that tournament in Qatar. It was a tournament in preparation for the FIFA World Cup coming in June. So that is the same team that Tunisia used in that tournament that came to AFCON. It's just that they didn't have good performances in their first first game and the last game in the group stages. But that one did not deter them to stop Nigeria. It really tells you that when you reach this knockout phase, the other stats don't matter. They don't matter at all. Regardless of how many games you won or drew or whichever. But so long as you are in the knockout stages, it depends on how you wake up and how you turn out.
If the gods of luck are on your side.
In the field of play. If you turn out ready in a good way or with a lot of positivity, then you are bound to win the game. But if you are going to depend on the stats, like the Nigeria did, coming into the game very overconfident and meeting a very different Tunisia, then you're in problems.
Okay. Speaking of tactics, I just wanted us to look at the FIFA rankings for AFCON. In terms of the FIFA rankings that were issued by the FIFA, the world governing body, that is FIFA, Senegal was at the top of that particular tier, followed by Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Nigeria, Egypt, and then Cameroon. In the world, Senegal is 20th, Tunisia is 26th, Algeria is 31st. Shilenje, looking at this particular ranking, is it safe for us? Because going into the AFCON tournament, the conversation was Algeria is the biggest team in North Africa. By virtue of having won the Arab Cup, having gone for over 30 games, not losing in an African, African games and basically games, looking at that particular ranking, can we say that now Tunisia is a favorite in this particular round of the game?
It doesn't count.
It
doesn't count at all. It doesn't at all. It will be a very big mistake to make that kind of prediction. This is just a start, because if you use the same statistic, you'll realize that Gambia is ranked 150th in the FIFA rankings, but they beat Tunisia, who is number 20 what?
Tunisia is number 26.
26. Yeah. Gambia 150th, beating Tunisia 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are just stats that maybe
based on the performance of the team
the
in
latest
terms of the
latest performance in terms of the FIFA calendar and the games and the point amassed. But when we get into the field of play, it is now 11 against 11.
Yeah.
Whoever turns up on that day wins the game.
Okay. Interesting you mentioned Gambia being ranked 150th and then Guinea was ranked 81st in that particular tournament. Time for us to talk about Gambia versus Guinea. That is the major game that people are going to be watching out today. A lot of our fans have been complaining that you're not talking about Gambia. Don't worry, this particular edition is for you guys. Yes, looking at that, Gambia versus Guinea, how do you see this game is going to play out later on tonight?
Wow, this is also a very tricky fixture. Gambia versus Guinea. Gambia have not lost a game since the tournament began. They've won 2 and they've drawn only 1 game. They were second in their group, just
with
behind
7 points.
With 7 points.
Yeah.
Just behind. Was it not Ghana? They had Ghana, Gambia,
Tunisia was in that group.
Tunisia. And Mali.
Yeah.
Yes, they were behind Mali. Yeah, on goal difference. So, and they are debutants in this tournament. It shows you this is a very unpredictable team. Nobody knew them when they came into the tournament. They were really minnows. In fact, we really underestimated them on this show.
I agree.
We are very sorry for Gambian fans. We underestimated your team. But you're really doing good. You've shocked us to reach the round of 16. And they are really trying to give me a feeling of Madagascar in 2019 tournament. Remember, Madagascar were also making their debut appearance into the tournament. But where did they end? In the quarterfinals. They beat Congo, a seasoned
powerhouse. Congo is a powerhouse in football.
They beat Congo in the quarterfinals. I mean, in the round of 16. They beat Super Eagles Nigeria in the group stages. It shows you that these debutants who many people don't know much about them, don't know much about their game, they're likely to cause shocks. They're likely to have some ripples and setups in this tournament. And if Guinea are not very careful, I don't see them getting past Gambia because Naby Keita, who is the most dependable player, will not be in today. Is out for COVID. And Gambia have been very consistent, very determined. They play as a unit. They have that togetherness in the team that you see what, man, we have to do this thing. This is our time. And for them, they play without any pressure. That is very valuable because when you play without pressure in your team, you just play, you enjoy the game, and it's only the opponent who has now to struggle to put a goal against you. But when we're just playing and enjoying the game without any pressure, knowing that whether we win or we lose, we've already achieved, I think it puts you in a very good position to win the game. So going into this game, I feel like the confidence is higher on the Gambian camp as opposed to Guinea, who lost their last game against Malawi, and they've not also been very top of their game into this tournament. They have only qualified courtesy of a win and a draw. But in terms of their game, it hasn't been that up to standard in comparison to Gambia.
Okay. Last week we were talking about foreign coaches versus international coaches. And one coach that seems to be doing well is the Gambian coach, who's taken them into the round of 16. And I think you've delved so much into the Gambian team. Very quickly, as we wrap up this conversation, let's just briefly look at the Guinea side. How do you think, you've already mentioned Keita is not going to be that particular game. How do you think that changes the dynamic for them?
I think a Gambian coach, Tom Saintif, really doing a good job, because he understands the game, given that he's coming in for the first time. He's been doing a good job reading the opponent and knowing where to hide the opponent, being patient in the game. We saw the game against Tunisia. They were very, very patient in the game. They kept on pushing, pressing. They had a penalty against them. And Gambia has a very good shot stopper.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Ah, wow. Teams need to watch him.
They have to.
He was able to stop Tunisia.
Yeah.
But they had their goal in the very last minute. It shows you that even when the games are thick, they are able to just be patient, just play your game, just be ready, anticipate, stay in the box, and the chances might come. This is very different from what Guinea is playing. But Guinea is posing a dangerous of being in terms of inexperience. They have experience more than Gambia. They've been in this tournament in many times than Gambia. So in terms of experience, Guinea counts so high against Gambia. But I told you, when we come to this stage of the competition, this
it's never about how many times you've been there. It's all about
the statistics.
How you play on the field
How do you
on that
turn?
particular day.
Yeah, without Keita, what can Guinea do without Naby Keita?
Yeah.
That is a question they need to answer today in their game against Gambia. Are they able to rise up when Keita is not in? If they do, well. If they're not, Gambia is taking them home.
Yeah. Speaking of experience, Cameroon versus Comoros, as we wrap up this conversation, Cameroon versus Comoros. Comoros is a team, and I will not get tired of talking about this. Comoros is the one team that denied Harambee Stars an opportunity to be in the AFCON tournament. Cameroon versus Comoros. Abubakar, in that particular squad, they have a good finisher in their squad. How do you think this fixture is going to stack out, Cameroon versus Comoros?
For Emir Abdou, Comoros coach, he has done a good job, but I think this must be his last game in the AFCON. Comoros are here courtesy of Ghana. Ghana allowed them to qualify just by you losing his head, getting carded.
Lack of composure generally from the Ghana,
and everything,
Ghana squad.
Everything just going bad for Ghana. Because the Comoros have only won one game. And I don't think they have enough muscles to punch against Cameroon. Yes, there can be upsets, but the chances are too minimal for Comoros to advance. Cameroon are in a very good mood. I think they must have celebrated when they had that draw against Comoros. And given that they are their home team, home fans, everything going towards them, I think that they just have a lot that takes to beat Comoros. If Comoros need to eliminate Cameroon, I think they need more than a miracle.
Okay. Well, the following are just some of the games, and we've mentioned the games that are going to be played tonight. The following games are going to be Gambia versus Guinea, and the hosts Cameroon are going to be squaring it out against Comoros. Tomorrow we are going to be here to break down the results of those two games and to see which team will have qualified into the next round of the competition. Well, that's all the time that we had today on the AFCON Highlights show. See you tomorrow, same place, same time.